Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Charles Sebastian. Welcome you guys to another episode of the DREAMERSPRO show, where we cover everything from sports, hot topics, classic debates, and entertainment, and we give you guys a fresh perspective on things and how we see it. Folks, we got a wild show for y'all here today, but before we get into it, please make sure you like the video and subscribe to the channel. So, by far, the most entertaining game I've seen this year was the game between the Oklahoma City Thunder and the San Antonio Spurs. Going into that game, we were actually doing a live. And at the very end of that live, someone asked me, who do you have winning that game? And I said to him, I took a few seconds to think about it. And I said, I'm picking the Spurs to win the game, right? I picked the Spurs. And ladies and gentlemen, it was an excellent game. Victor Wembanyama is a bad man. That dude is a problem that I don't think can be so. Did you see Victor Wembanyama in that game? That dude is incredible. Right. And before the game, he came out there and said Nikola Jokic is the best offensive player in the world. But and then I think he said it's him and Giannis or whatever. He said, but I'm the best. Like, I love it. I love it. Son was over there trash talking with what's the guy? Alex Caruso. Like, yo, I loved it. Right. I loved it. But anyway, during that game that was being called by Stan Van Gundy, Dwayne Wade, I forgot the third gentleman. They were trying to come up for nicknames for Victor Wembanyama, right? And at certain points throughout the game, they were putting up various graphics for various names or whatever. They're like, one of them was the Slash Brothers, something like that, right? So they kept on talking about the alien. And while I was watching the game, Stan Van Gundy, out of nowhere, as they were calling him the alien, decided to jump out there and say, no, we got to be careful with this alien stuff, right? With the political climate in the country, you got to be careful with this stuff. And when he said that, his panelists, like the people that was doing the calling the game with him, they just went quiet. Like there was this awkward silence when no one said anything. And a lot of people came for Stan Van Gundy on the internet. But before we get into what he had to say here, today's video is brought to you by sponsor, Prize Picks. Prize Picks is America's #1 daily fantasy sports with over 10 million members. Prize Picks makes it easy to get real money action on the sports and players you love. You pick more or less on at least 2 for a shot to win up to 100 times your cash. For example, this week I'm really looking forward to some of these upcoming games. This week I'm picking Stephen Curry for more than 29 points. I'm picking Kevin Durant for more than 27 points. I'm picking Giannis Antetokounmpo for more than 12 rebounds, and I'm picking Luka Doncic for more than 8 assists. If you're like me and you like to play it safe, you'll love Prize Picks' new feature, Flex Plays. It's the safest way to play. You can still cash out even if your lineup isn't perfect. Plus, you can double your money even if one of your picks doesn't hit. On top of this, Prize Picks puts their members first, so all withdrawals are fast, safe, and secure. When my picks hit, I can get my money as quick as in 15 minutes. So download the Prize Picks app today and use code CLNS to get $50 instantly when you play $5. That's code CLNS on Prize Picks to get $50 instantly when you play $5. You don't even need to win to receive the $50 bonus. It's guaranteed. And remember, whenever you support this sponsor, you're supporting this channel. Thank you. Okay, great. So what we want to do is I'm going to play what Stan Van Gundy had to say here, and I'm going to come back and react to his comments. Take a listen to what Stan had to say here that got everybody's blood boiling. Take a listen to Stan here.
If ever there was an appropriate nickname, the alien fits.
The only thing is, in the current political environment, you got to watch that word, Michael Grady. They deport those. We do not want Victor Wembanyama deported. Let's go with a different nickname.
The 2 games from Stan tonight.
I'll be at home laughing just like this when I hit Stan.
Now, you heard what he said. Now, before I read this comments, we actually saw this article from, because I was like, when you watch a game and you see these comments made, you're like, there's no way you're going to be able to get the sound. So, but they were able to get it. So anyway, it says, Stan Van Gundy warns against calling Victor Wembanyama an alien due to deportation. concerns. It says Stan Van Gundy has never been shy about bringing politics into basketball broadcast, so it wasn't exactly surprising when he had some thoughts after his broadcast partner referred to Victor Wembanyama as an alien during Saturday night Spurs Thunder game on Amazon Prime Video. During the fourth quarter, play-by-play announcer Michael Grady called the nickname fitting for the 7'4" phenom who routinely does things on a basketball court that don't look real. Van Gundy immediately used that as a jumping off point to caution him. Now, you guys already heard the sound. I want to read what people said in response to what Stan Van Gundy said, right? Because that's where people really went off on him about it. So, under the post, right? Let me just read. So this post generated 673,000 views since yesterday was published. All right, so let's just read through some of the comments here. One guy said, Stan Van is such a dumb, fat libtard. Is he legally here? Yes. Okay, he's fine. Shut the F up, fat ass. Another guy said, one guy said, he said he is an insufferable douchebag. Another viewer said, just lost all respect for Stan Van Gundy. He got the alien and the angry face. Another viewer said, yeah, the rest of the NBA wishes he could be deported. What a stupid conversation, Van Gundy. Another guy said, he's a literal cheat code. Then you have more. One guy said, wow. Another viewer said, he's the worst. He really is. Another viewer said, damn it, what a R statement. I'm not going to read it. Another viewer said, terrible joke, but an idiot. Another guy said, Stan Van Gundy, always just a conceited liberal Stan. Another guy said, he is an R, just like you guys are, but context matters in the use of that word. Everybody should grow the F up. Another guy said, the worst, most embarrassing broadcasting experience ever. Van Gundy is unbearable, made it about himself the entire time, and constantly tried to ham-fist NBA Cup propaganda. Another guy said, enforcing the law equals the current political climate. Man, they've really done a number on a lot of minds out there by just pretending normal isn't normal. And then one final guy said, disgusting like everything about him. What are my thoughts about this? My initial reaction when he said that was like, not confusion. I was surprised. And then I was confused. I was like, did he say that, number one? And number two, I was like, is this happening? And if you listen to the reaction or non-reaction from the people he was doing the show with, they didn't even say anything. They did not even say a damn thing. Now, you heard the pushback. A lot of people were not happy with what he had to say because this immigration thing, it is so polarizing. It's polarizing. Now, why is it polarizing? Because I think most Americans, right, the vast majority of Americans, including myself, would agree that if you are a criminal and you are illegally here, you gotta go. We all agree with that. I think where the rub exists is that the president said that we're going to be going after the criminals. And all too often what we're seeing is that we're seeing everyday Americans being profiled and attacked. There's even a video of the lady being arrested on the highway and she's screaming, I'm a citizen, I'm a citizen, I'm a citizen. Like, so when people see those kind of things, they don't like it. Now, obviously, Victor Wembanyama is from France, but no one is going to deport Victor Wembanyama. Like, that's never going to happen, right? But this is where a lot of people find themselves on this issue about immigration. A lot of people are for it. I think most people are for it, but even those that voted for the president are not a fan of how it's being done. Even Rogan, right? Even Joe Rogan, that came out and had support for the who I think endorsed the president. Yes, he endorsed Donald Trump. Even he doesn't like the way the thing is going down. He said, if you're seeing people with kids being, he's like, it's heartless. Whereas there's some people that don't find anything wrong with it, like the Asmund goals, or they're like, no, I'm not heartless. It is what it is, and that So this is where we are on this issue of immigration. It's unlike anything we've seen before. It's a very touchy subject. And when Stan Van Gundy brought it up, maybe he brought it up Why would Stan bring that up? Maybe he brought it up to defend Victor? No, I don't know. You guys, matter of fact, let me pass it over to the audience. Why do you think Stan Van Gundy brought that up? Do you think it was a moment for him to virtue signal? Do you think he was just trying to be careful? Why do you think he brought up made those statements during the game? Whatever you guys think, please leave your thoughts and comments in the comment section. We catch you guys on the next show. Peace.